Hey guys, so today felt like reviewing a book series because I realized I was staring at my wall and I went, look, what can I make a video about? And I went, this book series. Maybe you probably know from the title of this video. It's the Diary. It's a little bit backwards, but Diary of Wimpy Kid books. Oh, it's not backwards. Okay, it's backwards on my camera. These, okay. Some people always ask me, what kids books are great? What books are great? And I'm like, Diary of Wimpy Kid books are like there are like 13 or 14 of them now, something like that to that effect. Oh, they're so good. This is the first one, and I'm pretty sure I saw the first movie before I read the books. But I saw the first one and then I read every other book, and I was like, the books are so good. They're great. Okay, so they made the first movie, and it was great, and it was good, and it had the kid who played Greg, and it was great, and it had Roderick, and it had, which was Derek. No, not Derek. Um, Devin. I don't remember his name. Anyway, and it was great. I loved them so much. And then they made the second one, and it was like, okay, still watching a movie. It's pretty good. Still watching a movie. I didn't see either of them in theaters. I saw them on. I saw them on. I had the first one on DVD, and the second one I don't remember where I saw it first time. I saw it years later, years. But and then I saw the third one in theaters with my friend, and I was like, I saw it with my pool to be honest. Okay, I have to backtrack. My pool had this weird like it was like a leaders program or junior leaders program, and I was clearly too old. But my friend is 3 years younger than me, 2.5, 3 years younger than me, and so his mom always wanted me involved in the kid in his life because I was a good influence on the kid, and he was very good at like he liked me. Like I was a friend, unlike a lot of people he hung out with, which were absolute baloney people. Like absolute, like they were bad influences on the kid. But anyway, I'm not gonna go there. That's a whole different conversation that I'm not gonna go into because it's personal. So, but yes, yeah. So I was just like, okay. So I went to the movie theater because we got like a reward at the end for doing because you did all your events or whatever. Got like a golden star, gold stars, whatever the heck it was. Right? It was great. It was like, okay, look, they're gonna be great. We went to see Diary of a Kid 3, which is actually book 4, but it's movie 3, Dog Days. Oh my god. It was a really like oh, you could tell that all the actors are just too, well, at least Greg and Roderick, Greg and Rowley are just too old. You're like, wow, the kid's like 15 now or something. Such a good book series. Like, you can pull any page in this book, and I'll read a sentence right now. If there's one thing most boys in my class are into, it's professional wrestling. So Mr. Underwood might as well have set off a bomb. You know, you can read any part of this book and it's great. I like the first like little bit is like, where is it? It's like, if I'm not mistaken, it's like, where is it? It is, first of all, let me get something straight. This is a journal, not a diary. It's a great, I don't know. I'm not gonna spoil stuff for you if you haven't read this book by series by now. Come on, people. If you haven't read it, you have to read it, but it's amazing. But like, cause everybody always asks me, "What's a great book to read?" And I always go, "The Bible." And then I go, "Okay, fine. Other than the Bible," I'm like, "Well, I always recommend. I recommend. Okay, before I recommend this though, I recommend Harry Potter. And if they say don't read magic, then I go fine. I recommend Lord of the Rings, which people can watch or read, but they can't read Harry Potter, which there's wizards and witches in that series too. So, but it's not magic. Like, yes, it is. Anyway, it's a whole different conversation. I'm not going into that. Cause all my friends were Christian, and so they were all like, "I can't read Harry Potter because Harry Potter is witchcraft. Witchcraft is the devil." I'm like, calm down, frig off, whatever. But I'll say that. And then I'll say something like Charlie Bone, and they'll be like, "Ooh," because it's like that's more like abilities than magic, which is like it's literally just magic, whatever. And then fourth one in the line is then I'll say something like Magic School Bus, which they will read, yet it's magic in the name. But anyway, it is magical. But anyway, and then I'll go into this, and I'll be like, this is the fourth or fifth one I'll say to someone. I'll be like, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, um, Charlie Bone, then it's like Magic Treehouse, Diary Wimpy Kid, or depends on what the age group is too. Because when someone's telling me this for like teenagers, I go, Diary Wimpy Kid's still good for teenagers. I think. Well, depends on your like tastes and whatever. But like, I'll say like the Harry Potters and the Lord of the Rings and the Charlie Bones before I say something like what's it called? Before gosh, what's it called? Woo. No, it's awful. Before Diary of a Wimpy Kid or before Magic Treehouse, just cause like I don't know. Just think about it. I'm just like I don't know. It's not a bad series. It's just it's not exactly like a kids like a adult series. And I'll say stuff like Captain Underpants or like I don't know other things I read as a kid. What was the series I read? Garfield's and Calvin and Hobbes. I'm just staring at my thing right here, my bookshelf, and it's like it's comic books that I've never read. None. It's the first two or the only two really, because the other one they changed the name of that, but the lots of car books because I love cars. Um, Hot Wheels, Stephen King stuff. What are those things? More like choose your own adventure novels, which are great. Choose your own adventure. Anyway, what was that? Lots of comic books. Peanuts. What else? The first two, or the only two, really, because they changed the name. But the Encyclopedia of Immaturity. Oh, those are great. Those are great if that's what you like. If that's your thing, it's like fantastic. I'm telling you, so good, so good. Just because they're like, it's like weird, humorous. Like, here's an actual thing that will actually benefit your life, and then on the next page, you'll like one page, and the next page will be like, yeah, now here's how to squirt milk out your nose, or something like that, or like make a bottle rocket, or like do something that has nothing to do with anything, but is really fun. Or here's a quiz on are you gross or whatever it might be. It's great. I love it. It's amazing. But it's not for everyone. It's very male centric. So like I always remember that. But this series is great. I like Greg. Greg's a fun kid. Greg's a kid. Greg seems like a kid I would have been as a kid if I was in his situation. I'd be like try to get out of things and try to do whatever. I don't know. Have a brother that hates me or I don't know. Or whatever. But like yeah. So I'm looking at the series books and then I just stared at it. I guess Diary of a Wimpy Kid and I was like, oh, I'm gonna review that book series. So good. Diary of a Wimpy Kid started. Okay, I dropped off of it. Read like the first four, five, or technically I listened to it on an audiobook on CD. But then they started coming out like what twice a year or something, and it was like four or something. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. That's faster than I could read them. It's sort of like the Magic Treehouse or the if you've read Goosebumps, they started coming out faster than people could read them, and people were like, "Okay, I'm done." Because like you'd get to like book 40 or 30, 20 or 30 or 40, and you'd be like, "Okay, whoa, you've got like 60 or something, 70." Like stupid. No offense, but it's stupid. And in my opinion, it is stupid, but it's not bad. It's just, can you give us a chance? They're like, nope. Wow, okay. Because R.L. Stein, I guess. Well, those books are very weird. I don't know. This is not a book review thing. This is a specific book review thing. So it's Diary of a Wimpy Kid, not books in general. But I will maybe make like a books in general one. Maybe I can turn this into like my favorite books, but I think it's just more of just a. But anyway, so Diary of a Wimpy Kid, such a good book. It's great in middle school. If you don't know what the story is, it's basically this kid in middle school and he just decides to like document everything through his journal, like his his like he calls it a journal, but it's really a diary, because it's called Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Something like Dork Diaries too. It was like the girl version of it. It's really not, because people said that to me. They're like, no, it's really not. It's a whole different story. But it's not bad. It's just it's not the girl version. Everyone thinks it's the girl version of Diary of a Wimpy Kid. It's really not. It's like really not. But I mean, hey, if your kid likes it, have fun. There's a book called The Day My Butt Went Psycho. Okay, I don't really care. It's an innocent book. So if you like it, if a kid likes it and you don't think it's too immature or gross or whatever, then fine, whatever. But I'm just saying, like, it's not exactly the best book series. I don't know. I read a lot of weird stuff back in the day, so lots of books that like you would never think of reading. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, Die Wimpy Kid, because it got pretty good. Like it was like okay, the first few were like And again, it's another one of those book series where it's another one of them where they go, okay, so you're never gonna age. Yet I haven't even gotten to the new movie yet, but okay, we're gonna get there. Watch, I will talk about the new movie, but I'm just gonna say this right now. I hate it. 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 But we're gonna get to that. It's and the problem with that is the problem with the movie is by the third movie they were like, or you could tell, Greg and Rowley are way too old. Roderick looked the same. The parents fine. Manny, okay, he looked a little bit like he's not a baby kid anymore. He's like 5 or 6 or 7. It's like, okay, look, you're too old. You're way too old. You're way too old. You can talk, okay? So stop. You no more puppies. Now, like, oh, I can full on talk if I wanted to. You just have to stop him from doing so. Anyway, but that's the reason I hate the new movie is because we're gonna get to the elephant in the room. You had to change the freaking people. You had to change the actors. You had to change everybody. I get the whole Roderick. Okay, sure. Oh, Greg is like, okay, fine. I don't even think. Now that I think back to that movie, I don't think I saw it on TV. By the way, so I didn't watch it in theaters or on DVD. I saw it when it was like showing on TV, like what 3 years ago, 2 years ago. Anyway, year and a half ago. Anyway, I get the whole thing. You have to change Greg because like he's getting a little bit old, and it's like a little bit like, okay, we can tell that he's too old for this. But you have to change. You changed Greg. You changed Roderick. You changed the mom and dad. You changed Manny. You changed everybody. And again, if I'm not mistaken, they pulled like they pulled another mismatched number, and they pulled like one. They pulled. Oh no! I remember now. It's like 10 or 9 or 10 or something. They pulled out freaking because it was like, okay, there's one. There's Project Rules. There was Dog Days. First, first of all, Dog Days is out of order because there's which one now? This is that. Let me get the other book and see what number on here. How many the other books on here? No, this one's how many other books? Got my phone for a sec. They pulled out so it's like that. So first of all, that's not in order correctly. And then so instead of being like, okay, we're gonna just do the next one, so like we'll just forget about that one ever happening. Maybe we'll come back to that one, but whatever. No. Guess what? They decide to do of a wimpy kid. Books. Here we go. Here we go. Wow, okay, there's a lot. Okay, here we go. So we're going to see them all. So, okay, this is what the book series is, okay? It is, let's go. It is Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Diary of a Wimpy Kid 2, Roger Rules. Can I turn him this way to see if I can get him? Roger Rules. No, it's even worse now. Okay, no, I need a list. This is stupid. There you go. Come on, give me the book list. Thank you. All of them, please. 2007? When did these books come out? Okay, anyway. Right? So there's Wrecking Ball is not the first Diary of a Wimpy Kid, but anyway. Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Then there's Project Rules. Then there's Last Straw. Then there's Dog Days. So first, they skip Last Straw, okay? Then there's Ugly Truth. Then there's Cabin Fever. Then there's Third Wheel. Then there's Hard Luck. Then there's The Long Haul. They decide to do the new movie with the new cast that are awful. They decide to do The Long Haul. And The Long Haul is number 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9! You skip 5! You skip 5 of them! If I can do my math correctly, you skip 5 of them. If I can add properly, you skip 5. You skip 5 movies. You skip Last Straw in the first series of them. First series of movies. Then you skip skip The Ugly Truth, Cabin Fever, Third Wheel, and Hard Luck. What the heck? Hard Luck was great. You could have just been like, okay, fine, we're gonna do The Ugly Truth and Cabin Fever, do them all. No. I hope there's never going to be a whole series of them with this crappy cast. They suck butt, okay? They suck so bad. But whatever. I don't care. I'm never watching any of the other ones because I know if it's the same cast anyway. If it's not the same cast, maybe. But if it's the same cast, forget it. I ain't watching them. But anyway. Then there's Double Down. Then there's The Getaway. Then there's The Getaway. There's two Getaways. Or is there? No, can't be. And there's The Meltdown. And then there's like Old School. And there's. This is a bad list. This is a bad list. This is not a right list. No, not at all. Here, Devil Good Roger Growth, Last Straw, Dog Days, Ugly Truth, Cabin Fever, Third Wheel, Hard Luck, Long Haul. Then there's Old School, Double Down, Double Down. No, yeah, Double Down, Gateway, and Wrecking Ball. Wait, what? What's this one say? No, no thanks. So yeah, author Jeff Kenny. So why? Why would you go and do that? It's so stupid, in my opinion. But whatever. The movie series is frigged beyond belief. Okay, it's screwed up. You've taken. It's like whenever they make a movie. Okay, it's like when I did when I did the review of on the podcast I talked about Spy Kids. I talked about Spy Kids. But the thing with Spy Kids was they did the same thing as they did with this series of movies, right? They did this like it's a trilogy, right? So Spy Kids was a trilogy, so it's 1, 2, and 3. 2 is arguably the best. 1 is like watchable, and 3 is like don't if you don't have to, don't watch it. It's a fine movie. Just if you don't have to, don't watch it. If you have nostalgia for it, okay. But if you don't have to, don't watch it. Then they decide for some stupid reason to cash out and try and do a I don't know if you remember 4D. It was like scratch and sniff. It was weird. It was you got like a card, and then in the movie it would pop up like a number. It'd be like, okay, boom, 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 4, say, or 1, right? And 1, you scratch off a little part, like a little dot. It'd be like a little dot on the card, and you'd be like, ooh, bacon, and then, ooh, maple syrup, ooh, farts, ooh, baby farts, nasty. Anyway, they tried to do that with the 4th one. They made a 4th one and try and tie in some cash cash in on some stupid franchise. You're like, dude. First of all, no one cares. First of all, nobody cares. Second of all, no, not just nobody cares. It was just an awful movie. You try and pull in like the same characters, and you're like, why? This is just dumb. This is just really dumb. They did the same thing with this. They're like, oh, let's take a beloved franchise that people like, and are like, okay, they're fine with, that didn't need to be touched ever again. They didn't need a 4th movie, and decide to make it with a new movie. And the thing with both of those series is they both changed cast, but at least Spy Kids had the mind to the the forethought mind the mind presence of mind to go. Well, we'll bring back the two main characters from the original series so that we can like grab those people who have watched it from the beginning. So like me and my best friend, we loved those movies. Okay, so when that movie came out, he saw it in theaters. I did not. So he experienced 4D. I never did. He said 4D was such a gimmick. It was ridiculous. He was like, "This is so stupid." He was like, for like the first like 2, and then ever after that, you're like, "Okay, why are you showing me farts for the 15th time?" Like it was like a card with 10, and like 4 or 5 of them were like a way to smell bad. Why? I don't know. I don't care. But whatever. So he said it was just useless. But he did make the observation that he said it tried to cash in on all of the people. He was only like 11 or 12 at the time, 10 or 11 at the time. So he was just like, he tried to like bring back the old characters, and it didn't work at all. Because it was like, why? What? Why? Why? I don't know. It didn't work very well. I'm telling you, it didn't work very well. So, but I mean, it worked to an extent, I guess. I don't know. It worked for him. It got him. So, got him watching. So, I saw it eventually later. It was called Out of Time or something. But we're not talking about that franchise. We're talking about this franchise. And I never saw it in theaters, and my friend never saw it in theaters, and I didn't know anybody who saw that 4th movie in theaters. But I saw it on TV one day when it was on Spark, ABC Spark. If anybody knows that one, I also love how the ABC Spark has, well, on my Videotron, ABC Spark HD is 666. I just watched it. I'm like, okay. Anyway, I watched it and I went, why? Even if you just listen to the premise of the movie, it's they go on a long vacation, but he wants to be famous, so and they take all of those tropes of like the stupid gaming YouTube, you know, where it's like, look, I want to be famous on YouTube by playing video games. So he reroutes like their vacation map to go to this like video game convention to be on stage with this like famous streamer, I guess. It's like why? I think that's about the time they like YouTube started to like promote YouTube Live because YouTube Live was around a long time before that, right? It was around for a while, like before that. But they promoted it, and then they promoted it again in 2000 because this movie came out in 2014. But if you watch, and then they did it again in 2016 when they were like, okay, it's now going to be called YouTube Gaming, and we're going to have another separate section like under the umbrella of YouTube. It'll be YouTube Gaming, and we'll game, and it'll be great. And then I just went, which is weird because YouTube Gaming, you could just get to any YouTube video on your YouTube Gaming app. I don't know, it was bizarre, but anyway, it didn't work very well. They canned it eventually and just put it on the regular YouTube and said YouTube Live. So anyway, so they're like, oh look, I want to be famous. So he like reroutes the whole thing, and they go to like this convention, and they get found, and then I don't know because they want to be on. I don't know. They didn't even have Rowley. I don't think. Maybe they did. Maybe they did. I don't remember. But anyway, the long haul. Why? It's now a movie. It's like, and then it's every book that they sell has to have that. It's now a movie. Oh, it's now like on the smacked on the cover, like because I bought a copy of Ready Player One, and the copy I happened to buy, I found at a thrift store. Happened to find smacked on the front of it. It's a movie now. It's a major motion picture. It's like, oh, freak yourself. Major motion picture in my butt. Anyway. I want the original ones, but like I had the guy when I bought the set of Lord of the Rings. It was like the three Lord of the Rings, or my brother bought it, but the three Lord of the Rings, and then at the end it was like Hobbit is now a major motion picture. I'm like, oh, why? Anyway, so it's like the premise isn't even good. The first two are like people think are masterpieces. Okay, the first one is like, second one's like to me it's like okay, it's still a good movie. Don't get me wrong, it's still a great movie. It's still a franchise, right? But then you get to the third one, and you're like, okay, you're trying to cash in on this cash cow that it's working. We like it. We'll watch it because it's great. But and then we get to this fourth one that they came out with 2014, and we're just like, oh god, no, please no, no, don't ruin a perfectly good franchise just because you decided, oh, remember that franchise that people loved? Let's bring it back. Let's bring it same way they did with Spy Kids. Let's just bring it back. People love it. Let's bring it back. And I'm just like, why? Why are we bringing this back? This is stupid. Oh, this is stupid. What are we doing with our lives? This is stupid. This is really dumb. Why? I don't know. It's either Diamond Be Kid in 2011, okay. Diary of a Kid, Roger Gould was 2011. So the first one was 2010. The first book came out in 2006 or 7, something like that. And then the first movie came out in 2010. Roger Gould's in 2011. Dog Days 2012, and then 2 years later they did no. Oh, never mind. Oh, frick, never mind. I thought it was 2014. No, it's 2000. The book came out in 2014. The movie came out in 2017. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh my god, it's great. Anyway, that's why. Okay, I thought it was like they're cashing on the first bit of YouTube Live. No, this is the second bit where they're like YouTube Gaming. Anyway, it's a bad movie because they decided to just be like, remember that thing? It's like whenever they put a sequel out like years later. It's like, remember that thing from that movie or from that series that was out like a long time ago? Remember that? Remember that? Let's make. Oh, I got an idea. Let's make a new one. Let's cash on this like really bad cash cow and say, look, it's great. It's not. Let's be honest here. It's awful. But it's only awful because they changed everybody and the whole and they decided let's go pull like 5, 6 books ahead because they needed a road trip movie that had something to do with like summer and had like and was easy to make, right? Like a plot wise, right? They didn't want like the other ones where it's like a third wheel and like last straw and like hard luck and all that stuff where it's like, oh, this is hard to do. Which would have been so much better. But they decided, no, we're gonna do whatever we want. So I'm like, fine. You know what? I don't care. Forget it. You people make no sense. Give no fugs. Whatever. And I did watch it just so that I could be that guy who watched it. Because I know all these people who say stuff like Twilight, it's awful, worst book series ever, worst movies ever. It's like, have you seen them? Have you read them? It's like, no. Then shut your mouth. So I watched it just so I could say, okay, I watched it, and it was awful. I remember watching a review of it, and the guy was like, why did you take a beloved franchise that didn't need to be touched, that didn't need an addition of anything, didn't need to have a and you added a fourth one? They do that a lot. They do that quite a lot. They do that a lot. They just are like, you know the franchise? That franchise? I got an idea. Take the trilogy, which is perfect, and add a fourth one, like Spy Kids, or I think Kung Fu Panda's gonna have like three more or something, and like it's gonna be like a third, um, Cloudy with Chance of Meatballs. There's a lot of these. Like, why? What were you thinking? Why did you think that was a good idea? No offense, but why did you think that was a good idea? Oh, because man. Because. Oh, definitely. Well, because obviously it's like, what are you talking about? This is awful. But hey, you did it, and you probably cashed on. Because you probably caught a lot of people who'd never seen the first few ones. Kids who are like, oh, I like this. I want to see this. It's like the new Grinch movie. I saw the new Grinch movie when it came out last year, and I was like, uh, it's not, it's not, you're towards me. It's not aimed at me. It's not for not for me. So I'm not gonna, complain. It's like I was watching somebody talk about like the um, the new Sonic movie, and they're like, "This is not for me." He's a 40-year-old. He's a middle-aged man, 40-year-old man. He's like, "Okay, it's not for me. It's for my kids who have never heard of, like, never watched a Sonic thing in their life." He said he acquainted it to like um the Alvin and the Chipmunks movies that came out in like what 2007 and 2009 and 2010 or something, 8 or 9 or 10, 7, 6, 7 and 10, whatever it is. And they're like, it's not for me that have watched Alvin and Chipmunks all my life. It's for or all the good movies and all that. No, it's for um it's for the kids who have never watched it and don't know anything about it and want to. And they're trying to get the kids in. So it's like this fourth one isn't. It's not for me. It's not for the people who've watched the series before. No, it's for the people who have not ever seen it and want to watch a good like. Oh, okay, I see, I see, I see. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a odd, very very odd movie because it's awful. But it's only awful if you're no. It's only awful relative to the other movies. It's like I remember I was sitting on okay because there's a okay. I have to give you a back story to this. The office at my summer camp is like really long, so it goes out to the water. And then there's a stack of rocks in front of the office, and there's one giant rock that I sit on every time. I'm sitting on the rock, and I realized I contemplated, and I went, basically everything in the world is relative. So I was saying that movie is only bad relative to the other movies, because I said stuff like age is only relative. So you could feel old, but only relative to the people you're like. I felt old with the people next to me because the people next to me were like 14, 13, 14, 15, right? I could feel young relative to a senior's residence. You get what I'm saying here? So this movie is only bad relative to the other movies. Like if you never watched the other movies, you'd be like, okay, it's not a great movie, but it's not bad. It's nothing. It's no masterpiece, but it's not bad. It's like the Spy Kids. Spy Kids 4 is not bad. It's only bad relative to the other three Spy Kids movies that are actually watchable. The other three are watchable. That is a train wreck. I saw a review of that too, and you said that's a freaking by the same guys. Freaking train wreck. But that's the thing, right? It's only relative. It's like somebody was complaining about how short she was, right? Because it was she said it on Instagram and it was um because it was National Short Day. It was like the 22nd of December, I think, or 21st of December, or 19th of December, something like that. Anyway, it's a National Short Day, and so she complained about it, and then I just DM'd her. I went, look, hey, stop. I messaged her, and I was like, look, You're only short relative to the people you're standing next to. Sure, to these people, you're short. But if you were standing next to a baby, you'd be a damn behemoth. You'd be a goddamn behemoth. It's like, and she's like, well, I mean, I guess I can rest assured, rest easy that I'm at least taller than a baby. It's like, so it's relative. It's all relative. This movie is terrible relative to the movies that to the other three movies. If the other three movies didn't exist, also, then we'd just be like, there's nothing wrong with this movie because there's an actual movie about it. But because the other three movies exist, we have to complain and say, this is terrible. This is bad. Why does it suck? Why have you ruined my beloved franchise? All this baloney. Anyway, I'm not gonna complain about it just because it's actually a decent. Well, okay, relative to the other movies, it's fine. Or sorry, relative to the other movies, it's terrible. But if you don't compare it to the other movies, it's actually fine. Because I would say that to myself. I go, if I took this movie and did two things, either didn't base it on the other movies in the franchise, or didn't base it on this franchise, would I think it's a bad movie? And I go, probably not. Or based it on the book, I go, probably not. Like, you take Star Wars Phantom Menace, right? I'm staring at the box of that VHS tape right now. The only reason it's bad is relative to the other three original movies that were actually good. That movie, you took it out of context. You said to someone, watch this movie. It has nothing to do with anything. There's no other Star Wars. It's not based on a book. It's not based on other Star Wars movies. Nothing. Just you don't tell them what it's called. Like Star Wars Phantom Menace, you say it's called the Phantom Menace. The movie's called the Phantom Menace. Have fun. And somebody would be like, oh, this is not bad. This is really good. Right? So like, or a book that's not like Ready Player One. People say it's very different than the book. Yeah, but if you exclude it from the book, right, and say this is not based on anything, it's just a sci-fi whatever, people will go, that's a really good book. Anyway, I think that's gonna be it for now, guys. So, adios, mi amigos.